What's going on, everyone? Today Rockstar put out a new newswire explaining some of the upcoming improvements that are coming to the GTA Online update next week, the criminal enterprises. So like I was saying multiple times, one of the main factors of this DLC is going to be the improvements, the quality of life updates. So this is what Rockstar is going to be detailing in this newswire today, and they actually show off some new screenshots which are very exciting. So they say, alongside a host of new gameplay additions with a fleet of new vehicles and much more to come next week and the weeks to follow, GTA Online The Criminal Enterprises will implement a significant number of overall experience improvements, including many requested by players via the GTA Online feedback website. So let's start off with the business protections and upgrades. So Rockstar again says that we can sell our businesses and do business activities in an invite only, crew, and friend sessions. But if you still want to sell your stuff in public sessions, you do get an increased high demand bonus for your efforts. So you will get a decent amount of money just for selling in a public session, which could obviously make some people want to end up doing it there, even with the many risks. So after that, Rockstar does have some vehicle customization enhancements and changes. So they say, in addition to the fleet of new vehicles set to arrive this July and across the summer and fall, we made some changes to address a number of submissions from our gearheads, LS Carby members, automotive enthusiasts, and beyond. So they then have a list of pretty much most of the changes that they do have when it comes to vehicle customization, enhancements, and more. So first, all vehicles can now have low grip tires. At first, this was only for specific vehicles. I'm pretty sure only the tuner ones, but now we will have more customization options. Also, vehicles will be delivered faster when requested from the mechanic, which is definitely, a good improvement. It doesn't usually take that long. It's probably maybe around like 10 seconds, but I guess now it could probably be like instant, like 2 seconds. I don't know. We'll have to see. But also, players would no longer incur a charge for destroying another player's weaponized personal vehicle, avoiding penalties for those who return fire and successfully neutralize attackers. So this was usually only on consoles and never on PC, but now you would not get a charge for destroying somebody's weaponized personal vehicle. So I guess that could be a little bit useful because, you're just defending yourself, you know what I mean? So I guess that's a nice change there. Also, the Adventure and the MOC Vehicle Workshop will now have any vehicle that can fit it, and not only select vehicles, and then of course the MK2 can only go into terabytes, so that does really actually make it a bit more useful, because the Adventure, it's not that it's not useful, but it's just, sometimes you want to put a certain vehicle, it doesn't want to work. Alright, but also the number of ownable properties will be increased from 8 to 10, which increases the total garage space by up to 20 vehicles. So that's actually a pretty good change, I would say. Usually I think it's only like 6 properties that we could own, but now obviously it's from 8 to 10 and we can have up to 20 vehicles, so that's a nice improvement there. Also, on the Legendary Motorsport and Solid San Andreas websites, there will also be new filters for browsing products, which can be used with L1/R1 or LBRB on console. So finally Rockstar has some filters. This is something we've been asking for a long time, because the thing is, like, for example, when there's a new discount, like, you have to scroll through all the websites to look for it. So I hope that with these filters, it's going to be more easier to find discounted vehicles, and also other vehicles that we want, like 2-door vehicles or 4-door vehicles and stuff like that. So I cannot wait to see what that's going to be like. Rockstar, thank you so much for that. All right. Now, specifically for the MK2, the effectiveness of the homing missiles have been reduced, and the countermeasures will have an increased cooldown for fewer uses. Alright, so that obviously makes the MK2 still very usable, but just, a bit of a weaker vehicle now. And then for the Sparrow, it now has shaft and also flare countermeasures to protect you from, missiles and stuff like that, which is something I would say it did kind of need, since it was kind of lacking in countermeasures. And lastly, Rockstar says that they're going to be continuing to monitor player feedback for some changes in GTA Online. Now, for some general improvements. First, for the agency, you can now enter with the helicopter pad, or you can go through the roof door. For the auto shop staff will now actually be useful. If you guys didn't know before, basically if you made the staff deliver a vehicle, they would just destroy it pretty much, and then now you barely get any money. So now they're going to much more likely to successfully deliver a customer's vehicle without an issue. So there still could be some issues at times, but they're a bit more better now. And then over at the casino, you can now go around certain locations a bit easier. So now you can go from the casino to the music locker or to your nightclubs, vice versa, all of that. So that's going to be really useful. And now for one of the best changes that Rockstar is adding for general improvements, you can now purchase max ammo for all your weapons at once in the interaction menu instead of going one by one. Thank you, Rockstar, for that. And then for the snacks and armor, now there's going to be a single input when you use the weapon wheel, which is shown in the screenshot. You can see in the top left over there, it says, press up on the D-pad for a snack, and R3 to use armor. So this is something that Rockstar needs to add for years now, but I'm glad it's finally here. So now we don't have to go to the interaction menu, start spamming all that in this. So it's gonna be a lot more easier here. And then also Rockstar says that if a player fails and quick restarts a mission, snacks will be restocked to however many they started with. So now it's like, for example, like let's say you're doing like a certain mission, you use all the snacks and then you ended up dying. Usually before you would lose all of them, but now you get all of them back. So that's going to be very useful. Players can also now immediately hang up phone calls from several contacts when they offer missions instead of being forced. So, you know, things like English Day, for example, or some other characters as well. You're literally forced to listen to these phone calls, but now you can just hang them up. So that's really nice there. Also, specifically for PC players, you can now disable the in-game chat box. This is going to be a very good change because usually now in the chat box, there's a bunch of people spamming their discords and mod menus and chat and just messing up the whole screen and just making it so annoying and difficult at times to play. So it's good that Rockstar is finally implementing this. So now whenever you see modders just, you know, spamming in the chat or, you know, whatever, you could just disable it. But it will be better if Rockstar could just, you know, fix the modding issue. Now for some more changes for PvP, KD is no longer going to be affected by kills made in free mode, and it's only going to be affected by competitive gameplay, so like game modes and stuff like that, adversity modes, whatever. So now that definitely is going to reduce some griefing and people can stop caring so much about their KD. And for a Perico Heist improvement, you can now spend more time scoping out the island and you can get caught more times before getting kicked off the island. So that's a nice little change there. Now they also have a lot of changes for the race creator. So there's now going to be increases to the checkpoint limits. There's going to be a player limit for transform races and a number of fixtures that can be removed on the latest generation of consoles. Plus, all platforms can now create RC band detail races. There's also going to be a ghost to first checkpoint option, and more models have also been added to the fixture remover, along with a new anti-grief ghosting option to ghost players driving in the wrong direction, and options to set specific time of day for a race, and also the availability to scale checkpoint size. So a lot of things happening for the race creator, a lot of good things to, you know, prevent griefing, and also a lot of fun things and unique things that you can add. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out when it releases on Tuesday. Now for the pay increases, we obviously know we're going to be getting that, but Rockstar is going to detail explaining each and every one. So for races and adversity modes, it's going to be paying 50% more, which will obviously make more people want to do races. And then for premium races, the prize pool has been increased. Players will still continue to get the same payouts for podium finishers, but if you are 4th place and below, you will also get some payouts. Now for Heist, all players that join Heist setups will get 50% more money. And when it comes to cuts, the minimum cut is now 15% for all the finales. And then for the Heist setup fees, it's also been decreased to 25k. For the Fleecer job, the Humane Labs raid, the Prison Break, and also Series A funding, it will now give 75% more GTA money. And then there's going to be 50% payout on the Pacific Standard job finale, and then the Doomsday Heist for Act 1, 2, and 3. So now for races and also heists, we're all going to be getting a good amount of money. I don't think for the heist is going to compare to Perico, but it shouldn't be too far now, and it might be like, you know, around close to it. So that's going to be a nice improvement there. There's also some changes coming to the Perico heist. So they say with this update, all heists will be aligned to have the same cooldown timer of 1 in-game day, which is 48 minutes when playing as a group. We will also adjust specific aspects of the Perico Heist finale to better balance the player's time spent in GTA Online. Solo playthroughs of the Perico Heist finale will trigger a cooldown of 3 in-game days, and after stealing a high value primary target, which will probably be like the Panther statue or the Pink Diamond, the higher value primary targets will appear less often for the next 72 hours, while the value of the secondary targets will increase. This is intended to encourage exploration and cooperation between players. So there is going to be some nerfs and changes to the Perico Heist, which is of course one of the best ways to make money in GTA Online. So basically now all the heists, so that includes like the older heists, Doomsday, all that, will now have a cooldown timer of 48 minutes when playing as a group, so with your friends or randoms, which I would say isn't too bad. However though, if you want to do it solo, which is I think what a lot of people mainly do, you're gonna have to wait about 2 hours and 30 minutes now to do another Perico Heist. So you can't be doing it back to back to back after like, you know, 8 minutes or whatever, how much it was. Now you're going to have to actually wait. And then when it comes to the targets, like they were saying, basically if you get like Pink Diamond or the Panther statue, it's not going to appear that often. So I mean, that's kind of understandable, but the main reason that Rockstar is doing this is to make people want to play more together and, you know, just have fun, which is understandable. And then lastly, we also have some boosts for organizations and MC members. So if you're an associate, a bodyguard, or MC member, you will get double the salary. And also you will get double salaries if you help somebody with a sell mission, whether that is, you know, like cargo, or if you're selling like a cocaine, weed. So for same thing for MC and also like for the CEO. And then also if you want to rename your organization, that has been reduced. Usually I think it's like maybe 100,000, something like that. It's actually pretty pricey, so it's good that Rockstar put the price down for that. And then there's also some first time boost, and this is for all CEOs, VIPs, and MC presidents, even if you already completed certain activities prior to July 26th. So for executives, you're going to get a 3 times payout for the new export mixed goods sell mission, and this can be accessed when one of your new warehouse staff members have acquired their first batch of special cargo. And then for bikers, the businesses will produce at 3 times the regular speed, and then after that we'll go back to normal rates after your first sell mission is completed. And then for gun runners, the restart speeds are going to be tripled and production speeds as well, and then they're going to, you know, go back to normal. Nightclub, same thing here. All business battle goods will contain triple the usual amounts and then return to normal. And the first sell mission for each of the businesses listed above will reward double the usual GTA payouts. So when you have your first sell mission or first mission, when it comes to these businesses, you're going to get a nice bonus. So then it's going to go to normal. So it's just like a way to, you know, make people want to get into this stuff and enjoy it, hopefully. And then there's going to be a limited time payout boost for MC members, VIPs, and CEOs. So for MC work, club challenges, clubhouse contracts, and member challenges, it will be double the payouts for a limited time. And this also applies to VIP work as well. So that is pretty much all the changes and improvements that's going to be coming in the DLC that's coming out next week, the Criminal Enterprises. There is definitely some more stuff though that Rockstar hasn't said yet. Sometimes for certain changes and stuff, they don't mention it until day one, or they just never mention it at all, and we just had to figure out as a community. So honestly, I mean, all these changes are things that a lot of people have requested, and I'm glad that Rockstar said that they're going to continue to look into this stuff and continue to pay attention to the GTA Online feedback page. And it seems like we're going to see better things from now on in GTA Online. So that is all for this video though. Let me know what you guys think about these changes and improvements. And of course, like I usually say, if you guys aren't already, make sure you subscribe and put on post notifications. We'll be having tons of content regarding this new DLC, and I don't want you guys to miss it. Don't forget to drop a like on this video as well, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.